Hey guys, Ramallo here. Want to give you a couple of more social media tips. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about personal branding. I think you're going to see, especially in the years ahead, you're going to see a shift in technology of visual effects that are going to heavily affect user experimentation and determining on which platform your voice, basically ultimately where you want to stand out the most. That's something you need to determine. You're going to have to develop that strategic approach and develop your niche for the future in personal branding because it's changing, it's evolving all the time. You could hear Zuckerberg talk about it constantly about Facebook. He's doing a lot of experimentation with the visual 3D, and there's a lot of other people that are getting involved in that as well. Also, just basically whatever platform that you want to dominate out there. I think for everyone it's going to be different in their personal branding approach, and you really need to know, I think, for yourself where your strengths are going to be as far as marketing, because they're very, very different. I mean, you've got Blab, you got Periscope technology, very popular. The thing about Periscope is that unless you save it and you put it somewhere in an archive for future use, it basically bottoms out and disappears after 24 hours. But it's nice. It's already changing dimensions out there to a whole brand new world in social media. So what you need to do is you need to figure out for yourself what value that you're going to bring to your brand in the marketplace as you're putting your content marketing strategy together. I know I just spoke about that a little bit in a previous video, and implement it towards building your brand, because in the future years to come, people generally learn to build a brand by assimilating the brand's influence that influences them, if you will. So it's kind of something like you're being, I guess, modeled or influenced, if you will, by somebody that you admire in the world of social media, a particular brand that you might follow. So it's the best form of flattery for social media, no doubt. And you need to be relevant. You need to be engaged. I talk about that heavily with your prospective marketplace, and I can't stress that enough. So pay attention to what other people are saying, and if your people that you like, that you've been hearing from out there on your favorite platforms, as you develop your own style, they're naturally going to gravitate towards wanting to hear more of what you have to say. So that's really one of the things that you're probably looking for. Improve your brand creativity by showing what you have to do online via your marketing efforts on all the platforms that you're focusing on, as technology itself keeps on rebuilding itself, if you will. You're basically going to have to keep on reinventing your brand strategy over time. So I normally ask people when I speak with them, and I'm going to ask you this today, what makes you stand out more than the next person? Why you? Think about that. So, focus on communicating with the proper audience, and then and only then, if they're interested in you, they're going to be in your message wanting to do any business with you. So the toughest thing I think to keep in mind is that you're always going to be experimenting. It's on an ongoing basis, probably for years to come, as this particular section of the market is evolving. So this is how you're going to basically commit yourself to the marketplace by doing so. So one of the things I think you need to pay attention to for yourself is how the marketplace is changing and how you want to be a part of it. There's been several paradigm shifts, I think, in the last couple of years that are showing how social media is changing and influencing people and their lives. You almost need to kind of like merge both your personal and your professional life into one. We live in a world where over 95% of Americans out there that are under the age of 50 are on Facebook on a regular basis. So, perception is in the marketplace is key. It always has been. It's not going to change. So what do you want to convey to your audience, and any personal attributes that you have that's going to influence any characteristics that define you now and perceived in the marketplace in the future. I remember when I did work with Tony Robbins, one of the first sessions that he had, I mentioned this previously, it was called Strategic Marketing, the Power of Personal Marketing. It's strategic influence. And I look at that back now, 20 plus years, and I'm thinking, This guy had vision. Social media wasn't around then, but I think he knew in his mind what type of effect, as far as people are concerned, that are going to basically influence the marketplace. It evolved into the 21st century, obviously, and it's continuing to change. So even then, he had the insight of the future branding himself in the marketplace. And that to me is brilliant. That's kind of the foresight that you need to have for yourself and your branding strategy. So one of the differences, I think, for the future of personal branding that's going to make is how one builds your reputation online with your own brand equity. Intangible assets that set you apart from everybody else. That's going to bring the ability with your audience by leveraging any experience that you've had in the marketplace. So your expertise, your reputation, and your marketing is going to play a huge role in the future of your personal branding. So I know in some previous articles, I mentioned that you're going to need to add video. I know a lot of people are shy about doing this, but I highly recommend it. One of the main reasons is you want to become visible. This is a visual marketing world today, and people that basically are going to make buying decisions from you, and a visual is going to be a huge impact on that. So remember, picture's worth 1,000 words, and so imagine how many words and how powerful a video can be. They're much more likely to rank higher in Google for yourself. A video is going to by all means stand out to somebody who's just going to be writing a text article. So the content is going to be huge. Companies right now are seeing the need for integrating real-time video, and I think you need to hop on to that bandwagon, if you will. So it means you're going to constantly, again, experiment, and focus on marketing with video on a regular basis long term. That branding for you is going to change, and it's going to involve putting in that real-time marketing for yourself on video. So keep in mind that a lot of social media today is mobile as well, and it's visual. All age groups are getting involved in it worldwide. So that's why everything from Vine, Snapchat, Periscope, you name it, Blab, it's going to explode with popularity among consumers in the world. 50% of any site traffic that's coming from mobile devices by the end of 2017, 2/3 of the traffic on mobile devices are going to be via video. So where do you want to be in part of that? These are some of the things that you're going to need to incorporate in your brand strategies. And one of the few items I know that people right now are being prepared for is just recently, Instagram and Pinterest both introduced ads via promoted pins. I believe those trends are going to likely to grow. I know Forbes magazine recently mentioned that I think the sales on tablets are going to be over, and smartphones are going to be over 85% by the end of 2017. So how are you going to adapt your style? How are you going to be relevant enough promoting your content on social media is going to be the difference between how you look out there in the marketplace. So you got to learn how to adapt to it. Social media branding is going to be your podium. I think that there's going to be changes out there that you need to focus more, and you'll be able to help monetize it for yourself in the future. So, reach your audience, communicate with them on whatever platform it is that you prefer, and don't worry about changing so much your branding strategy as much as finding out what you're comfortable with and where you're providing the most value. And remember, engage. I can't stress that enough. It's of utmost importance in social media. Probably one of the most important aspects that you'll hear me focus on anytime now. So if you like what you hear, definitely check out my blog and get in touch with me. Hopefully you're having a great day as you're enjoying this. Please give me any comments below. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate your time today and looking at this video on YouTube. And hopefully some of these tips will help you in your personal branding strategy online. And if I could be of any further help, consider a coaching session. Either way, whatever you do, I hope you have a phenomenal day, and take care. Create a great one for yourself. Bye-bye. This is Ramallo signing off. Until next time. Have a great day, folks.